Hello, everyone. And I do recognize some people out there. So I see Cindy and Lori and Bruno and Susan. And there's so many people and your pictures are on my other screen. So I don't want to turn my back to you. We are so happy that you're here. Today, we are going to get you hopefully moving and thinking and having some fun with this presentation. So who are we? I can't move my slide. That's no good. Why won't my slide move? There we go. Who are we? My name's Joanne Pelser-Frere. I'm the Director of Program Development here at Literacy Chicago. And I've been here about 5 years now. And one of the things I do is tutor training with my friend Karen. Over to you to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Karen Fredrickson. I've been a volunteer with Literacy Chicago for about 7 years. And I've been teaching new tutors for about 6.5 of those years. I also teach an adult literacy class and have done individual tutoring as well.
So we have a question for you. Have you ever, has this ever happened to anyone? You can raise your hand. Walked into a classroom and realized that you forgot everything at home or on your desk, or maybe you just picked up the wrong folder, or maybe your lesson plan was too short. You thought it was going to be really hard and they just zipped through it, or maybe you had this great lesson plan prepared all around what your students were going to prepare and they didn't do it. Do I see any hands up there? You can, because if this has never happened to you, then you probably won't like our presentation. But if you've ever taught a class, okay, good. I see some thumbs up.
So, or have you ever been called in to substitute for another teacher at the last minute, or kind of faked your way through the class because you didn't know your students' names or forgot them, or ever just had to improvise for whatever reason? Your lesson plan wasn't going well and you just wanted to do something better. Your hot day and your students were falling asleep, you wanted to wake them up. We've got a number of ideas for you.
So today we hope you'll go home with a little toolbox, and at the end of this presentation you can pick up the PDF, which I hope will open up with our notes on it. These are ideas of things you can do on a snap. So you can put everything into your back pocket, pull it out, and all you need in terms of physical tools are paper and pencil or a whiteboard, depending if you're on Zoom or you're in a classroom. Now we have to kind of think out of the box a little more, and then tap into your imagination.
So where did we get these ideas? Well, between us, we have more than 60 years of teaching experience in a variety of settings with a variety of students. And we've been together training new tutors, 2 volunteer tutors for Literacy Chicago for the past 5 years. And we've done a little experimentation with those tutor trainees.
So our apologies to our tutor trainees who are now tutors and who are here today. Yes, we did experiment on you. So today we're going to go through some things you can do to get to know your students a little bit, or this works too, like if you have a big class and from one week to another you completely forgot their names. This was my trick to remember names of my students. Get them moving. Sometimes you look at someone and they look like, oh, they're falling asleep, they're not paying attention, they're using their phones. Well, some of these exercises have to do with writing stories or storytelling, or talking for ESL, especially which words do you stress in a sentence and how does that change the meaning? That's really hard for people who don't speak English to figure out. We'll show you some fun tongue twisters and end up with a spelling bee.
So one thing to always remember, even with a very impromptu lesson, is to have an objective and to let your students know what the objective is. What are they going to learn, or what will they be able to do at the end of the lesson? It could be as complex maybe as writing a short story. It could simply be learning the names of body parts, or learning how to put adjectives in the correct order, or how to write in the future tense. But it is important to have an objective in mind and to communicate it to your students.
They'll never know you just pulled this out of your back pocket. Never tell them. Never tell them. So we're going to try a little experiment here. There are a lot of people in here, but we're going to try. One thing that I used to do all the time was to say, tell me your first name and blah, blah, blah. So today we chose favorite color. It could be, tell me if you prefer dogs or cats. Tell us your favorite season. Tell us your favorite cartoon character. Tell us your favorite country. And one thing I did in class that was really good, not only for me to learn students' names, but for them to learn each other's names. Now on Zoom, it's different because we have our names up there anyway, but someday we'll be back in person, I hope. So you can go around and you can have like people repeat what the other person said. So for example, I'd say, I'm Joanne and I like blue. And then I'd say, Karen.
I'm Karen and I like green.
And then she would have to add, this is Joanne and she likes blue. So you can use it as a memory game. And when you have like 10, 15, 20 students in your class, it's fun. So we're going to try this for a couple of minutes. We might not get to everyone, but we'll just give our name and our favorite color and then call on somebody. So we'll start over. Hi, I'm Joanne. I love blue. Karen?
Hi, I'm Karen and I like green. Allie?
You have to unmute yourself.
Whittington?
For this one.
I can see you.
Yes.
So your name and your favorite color and call on somebody.
My name is Allie and my favorite color is black, and I'm going to call on Cindy Sawarski.
Hi, I'm Cindy. My favorite color is purple and I'm calling on Evelyn.
Evelyn, if you can put on your camera too, it would be fun.
I'm actually in the car on my way to pick up my boys, but my favorite color is green.
Can you?
Green.
Can you?
Yes,
see anybody?
and I will. Let's see. I will call on Barb Lee.
You're muted, Barb. We can't hear you, Barb. We can see you, but not hear you. Unfortunately, I can't unmute people, but I can ask you to unmute. There you go. What's your favorite color, Barb? We still can't hear you. Let's go on. I'm sorry, Barb. We will never know.
Washington, D.C. to Jackson, Mississippi, following part of the route of the historic.
I don't know. We heard something. Let's just go on then. Somebody who has a microphone that works. Julianne?
Julaine.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Julaine and my favorite color is blue. And how about Miriam Escadas?
Hi, my name is Miriam and my favorite color is pink. And I will call on Susan.
Hi, my name is Susan and my favorite color is yellow.
Okay, so it's not as much fun on Zoom when there's a lot of people and we can't see everybody, but I think you get the idea of how that can go. So we're going to go on to something that's really fun. Then we're going to put you in breakup rooms and have you do something fun and crazy and creative. If I can slide my slide. Okay.
So semantic mapping is a wonderful exercise. It can be used in a number of contexts. It helps students increase their vocabulary, their available vocabulary, helps them connect new words to similar or related words, to words they already know. And it's, again, all you need is the whiteboard and a marker or paper and pencil. Some of the things you can do with semantic mapping is practice adjective order, use adverbs, help your students use adverbs to enhance writing. Write a story with a beginning, middle, and end, or write in a specific verb form. If we could go on the next slide, we have these objectives. And today, we're going to ask you to fill out a semantic mapping chart and then write a short story about the words we put up there.
So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and then hopefully be able to reshare in a different way so that I can write on my slides. I don't know if you know this method, but if you
in the meantime, thanks for everyone who put their favorite color in the chat. That was fun.
Okay, now I lost my sharing. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so we'll share again. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go into advanced when you share and you choose a portion of the screen, then you can have your PowerPoint up and write into it at the same time. So it's kind of fun. So we're going to ask you in a few minutes to go into breakout rooms, and you're going to write the story, the untold story of Barbie and Ken. Is there anyone here today who does not know who Barbie and Ken are? Don't be embarrassed. I don't know if they've made it all the way around the world. So if anybody, this is your time to ask if you don't know Barbie and Ken. Going once, going twice. Okay, so I'm sure that you'll be in a group with somebody who knows a lot about Barbie and Ken. Barbie and Ken are, and their family. So if we just put you in breakout rooms and said, go write the untold story of Barbie and Ken, you'd probably spend a long time figuring out what you're going to write about and how you're going to write it. What we're going to do now is find 4 categories, kind of like going back to that other map that you looked at. In these categories, it was like dog walking, training, breeds. We want to find 4 kind of big categories and then a little bit of vocabulary for each one. So somebody who has an idea, go ahead, shout it out for a category. Just shout it out and be silly. This is our time to be silly, okay?
Where did crazy extended family?
Okay, I love it. Extended family. Crazy. Okay, another one.
The beach.
Beach. Another one. Think of their lives, a big portion. What's a big portion of their lives?
Childhood trauma.
Oh, I love it.
Appearance.
What? Sorry?
Appearance.
Appearance. Okay, so let's think of a few words, shout out some words about crazy extended families. Just shout them out, guys.
Aunt Martha.
What?
Aunt Martha.
Okay.
Incarcerated.
I love it. Okay.
Eccentric.
Okay.
Cousin Clyde.
You guys are on a roll. I'll give you some ideas to get started. How about some words associated with their beach life?
Bikini.
Topless.
It's getting better and better. You're gonna have some good stories here. Okay.
Dream house.
What kind of house?
Dream house.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Can't forget that.
Volleyball.
Sunburn.
Yes. One more.
Lifeguards.
Oh, yeah, those handsome lifeguards. Can't forget them. How about some words that have to do with appearance?
Fashion.
Plastic surgery.
I'm sure she's had it by now. Surgery.
PRY.
Thank you, Karen.
Flawless.
Flawless. One more.
Matted hair.
I think Barbie would be like so embarrassed to go out with matted hair. Childhood trauma. Okay, I'm just putting parents right away because we all know.
Zits.
Acne.
No.
Arms ripped off.
We don't know whose. Maybe it was Martha's. Couple more. Be silly, guys. It's time to be silly.
Devastating haircuts.
Ooh.
You know, like when you cut your little brother's hair.
Yes.
He has gum in it. Right before the family pictures.
Is that Adele? I love it, Adele.
Yes, yes, yes.
So well, I'm going to come back to here now so you can see. Whoops, right. I guess I have to go to stop sharing and share over again. Back to my basic one. Okay. So we'd like you just, if you can take a screenshot of this or just remember, we're going to put you into breakout rooms right now for a few minutes. And we're going to ask you to write a story. Now this story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end using all or none of this. But this is we'll give you ideas. The name of it is The Untold Story. You can use Aunt Martha and Cousin Clyde. You can use whatever you want. You can add to this. But this is designed to like give you ideas. And
Oh, here they all come.
Here you guys are.
So much fun.
Welcome back. I see some smiling faces. So I hope that means you have fun writing a story. We're going to ask like one or two groups to read your stories. Unfortunately, we only have an hour, so we can't hear all of them. Which group would like to share? Somebody, okay, Susan Cherry's group. You're going to read it to us, Susan? You have to unmute yourself first, please. And I see you're back in your own house. You're still muted. You're muted. You have to go down there and find where it says.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to have to put on these ugly glasses in order to read it. I was the scribe, so I'm going to. Barbie and Ken met at the beach. Ken was a lifeguard. Barbie was topless, but had her bikini bottoms on. Ken said, "This is a G-rated beach. You can't be here." As Barbie was protesting, Uncle Clyde showed up and said, "We gotta go. We have to go see Aunt Martha in prison." But Barbie said, "I want to stay at the beach because I have zits and the sun will make them go away." Ken insisted that she put on a top, but Barbie refused because her mom had always gone around topless to show off her boobs after having plastic surgery. Uncle Clyde took off his shirt and threw it over Barbie, who ran into the lake and pretended she was drowning, while Ken sat and stared at his muscles. And that's why Barbie and Ken never hooked up.
Do you like it, guys? That is fabulous. And look how fast, in
Excellent.
5 minutes, you came up with a hysterical story. Susan, can you randomly choose somebody to read their group story?
Yeah, I will choose Shauna.
Okay, Shauna, I'm glad you're here today.
Yeah, me too. Actually, Nicole was our scribe and she has the story.
All right, Nicole, you're on. Where's Nicole? Oh, you're muted. Okay, cool.
Okay. Barbie and Ken had a traumatic childhood. It started when they witnessed eccentric Aunt Martha rip off Cousin Clyde's arms, resulting in her incarceration. Following their terrible adolescence of acne, matted hair, and horrible haircuts, they became fashion gurus. Their obsessiveness with flawless beauty led to multiple plastic surgeries. Due to their remarkable beauty, they landed modeling contracts, which afforded them their beach house. Thanks to their flawless bodies, they were able to play topless volleyball with the lifeguards. However, Barbie's modeling career was put on hold due to a serious sunburn.
Oh, that's great.
Great,
Yes.
that's fabulous. I love it. I would love for you all to send me your stories if possible. Okay, let's hear one more because I wish we could hear all 8 of them, but so Nicole, why don't you just randomly choose somebody from a group and hope it's not from the groups we heard.
Okay. How about Mandy?
Okay, Mandy. Are you the scribe, Mandy?
I was not the scribe for our group. I came so late, although they should have done that. It's usually the latecomers. Can the scribe from our group share?
Who is the scribe for Mandy's group?
He said we should answer.
I'm not sure. Was that my group, Mandy?
Yes, indeed.
It was. Oh, dear. Okay, so
Okay, Sarah.
I was a little bit derelict in my duty and didn't actually write it. Whoops, I didn't follow directions. Oh, no. Okay, so this has something like Barbie and Ken met when they were visiting cousin Clyde, who was incarcerated. They thought that they were like second or third cousins. But then later on, they were on the beach in Aunt Martha's dream house. Turns out that they were neighbors. And let's see, so they're on this beach in this dream house and Barbie is swimming and there's this shark who comes along and rips off her arms along with her bikini top. So she's therefore topless. But then at some point they figured out that that they were in real life siblings.
Oh my gosh.
There had been some other hanky-panky going on with the neighbors, and that's kind of why they all had this cousin Clyde in common. And because they were neighbors on the beach, something's going on here. So anyway, I didn't actually write it down. Sorry about that.
Well, that sounds pretty good. And in that, if that happens in a class, what I would do is just say, okay, that's okay. Everybody's going to have to help. So in your group, so that you could always do something. I think you guys did wonderful. If you can, I don't know if you can even send me in the chat, if you can copy and paste your stories into the chat. And by the way, if you want to keep the chat, there's 3 dots on the bottom of the chat, and if you click on them, there's one that says save chat, so you can save the chat. And so I'm saving this chat. And if you want to stick your stories in, that would be really fun. Okay. We are going to move on. Share my screen again. Whoops. To move your faces away, even though I like looking at you. Karen, over to you, Karen.
So one way to energize your class, bring some oxygen to everyone's brain, get the blood moving, is to move. It's silly and it works. Things like the hokey pokey, Simon Says, can actually be extended lessons where you learn the names of body parts or movements, like turn around or right and left or face and shoulders. Or it could be something just simple like standing up and shaking or doing jumping jacks, or if you have a little music, dance. But putting a little movement in your class can really get things going.
So we are going to do that right now. Let's say you're doing a lesson plan on body parts. Now this is something I've actually done. And so you do your typical thing and you go write it up on the board. And if you've forgotten all your stuff, you say, okay, today we're going to work on body parts and a few verbs that we can use that go with them. So you draw this guy up on the board and then you ask them if they know the game Simon Says. So I'm asking you, I have had people in my classes from other countries, and they don't say Simon Says. For example, in France, it's not Simon, it's Jacques. But it's the same game. Is there anyone here who doesn't know the rules of Simon Says? So for this, we are going to ask you right now to please put on your cameras. You can leave your microphones off, but please put on your camera so we can see each other. We're going to play, we're going to stand up, and we're going to move around, and we're going to be kind of silly for a few minutes. Oh, I see my friend Marilyn just joined us. So I'm going to stand up, and I invite all of you to, oh, you can't hardly see me. Let's see. Everybody, please stand up. Come on. We've all been sitting all day. It's time to loosen up, and if you can put on your camera, we're happy. Okay, because I have to see you. So I'm going to be Simon. The rules are, if Simon says something, you have to do it. If Simon doesn't say it, you don't do it. If you don't do it, you become Simon. All right? And part of this is you have to go fast. So are you ready? I'm assuming you're ready. Okay. Simon says, touch your head. Come on, guys. Simon says, touch your back. Simon says, touch your elbows. Simon says, pull on your ears. Simon says, turn around. Simon says, turn around the other way. Simon says, sit down. Simon says, stand up. Simon says, sit down. Stand up. Who did it? Susan. Not Susan Cherry, the other Susan. Susan, I saw you stand up. You're Simon now. Simon didn't say stand up. So you get to unmute yourself and be the fastest Simon you can. Try and trick us. So this is really good for comprehension, for pronunciation for the student who's saying all of this. You want them to go fast, for memory, for moving. Okay, we'll do one more round. So everyone start standing up. This is really good. You'll feel so much more energized after this. Okay, Susan.
Simon says, touch your shoulders. Simon says, cross your arms. Simon says, bounce twice. Simon says, stomp your right foot. Stomp your left foot. Oh, somebody did.
Somebody did it. Okay. We won't go on because we don't have that much time, but while you're standing, just give yourself a little shake your head, get the blood going. I mean, if you've been watching the conference, you've been sitting, and sitting makes us fall asleep. Do this game when your students, when you feel they're like not being attentive. I've done this with adults of all ages. Believe me, if you're silly, they'll be silly and they'll say, oh, that's fine. So here's the next little exercise you can put in your pocket. And I'll send that one back to Karen. It's like we're on TV. Okay, over to Karen Frederickson.
So as you may be aware, spoken English is stressed. Words are stressed, and we stress words in a pretty standard way. So in saying this sentence, I didn't say she stole the money, we normally stress didn't, because we stress the negative since it changes the meaning of the sentence to the opposite. But you can, and this is really good for ESL students to understand, by stressing different words in the sentence, you can change the meaning of the sentence. For instance, if I said, I didn't say she stole the money, that has a slightly different meaning. It implies that somebody said it, but it wasn't me. Right. So can someone else, I see a Barbie, say the sentence with a different stress, different word stress to change the meaning? You have to unmute yourself, Barb.
Yeah, we'll try and get Barb to speak again.
Yeah.
You're still muted, Barb.
Can't unmute. Okay. I can't see a lot of people here. Miriam? No?
Susan Cherry's volunteering.
Okay, Susan Cherry.
I didn't say she stole the money.
Okay, which means?
Which means she may have the money, but she didn't steal it.
Okay, so we have two so far. I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money the normal way. I didn't say she stole the money.
And maybe one more.
Sandra.
Close. Yeah, I didn't say.
Say it again. You're muted.
What?
Yeah, you got muted in the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't say she stole the money.
Okay. Yeah. And that means what?
Well, maybe I wrote it down in a text, or, you know,
implied
it. Yeah.
Okay. And so there's more. You could say, I didn't say she stole.
You could say, I didn't say she stole the money.
Right. Maybe it was someone else.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was crazy Uncle Clyde.
Or Aunt Martha, that's why she went to jail, you know.
You bet. There you go.
And so you can do that with every single word in this sentence.
Yes.
And except for and it changes the entire meaning. So
actually, you could do it with the. I didn't say she stole the money.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It could have been some other money, but not the money. Yeah.
Or I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't say. Yeah.
Or the money. Or the money.
I didn't say she stole the money.
Yeah. Right.
It's and we don't often realize as native English speakers that that's what we listen for, is what is stressed.
So what you can do is make up an objective. Today we're going to work on understanding what happens if you don't stress the normal word in a sentence. And then after you've done this, you put them in groups and you have them each write a sentence, and then you come back to a big group, and then they share their sentences, and you've got at least a half-an-hour lesson based on one sentence that they'll think you just had all planned out. So come on, move. The slide doesn't want to advance. Another writing exercise that we like to do, and we won't actually do, and I think we'll do this one orally, the other one, Karen, because we won't really have enough
time.
But what you can do is writing exercises are great because you can do so much with them. So this is one that I used to love to do in my ESL classes. You give them the beginning of a sentence, of a story, and the end. And it's similar to the semantic mapping, is that you're giving them some ideas, because if you just say, go write a story, you know, you won't get much. They don't know where to start. And somebody once told me about storytelling, write the last sentence first, because then you know where you're going. So here we're giving them where to start and where to end, and they have to figure out the middle. So in this exercise, for example, the last thing I remember is the snow was falling and I was getting buried under, da, 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 da. Then the end, and that, my friends, is how I ended up moving halfway around the world. So you see there's like no coherence between those two ideas, and it's up to them to figure it out. So when you do this in an ESL class, you can be telling them the goal today is to work on we're working on past tenses today about things that happened in the past, and we want to compare. I mean, you might not tell them, but you know, the preterite and the imperfect forms. And we want you to work on, that's your main goal, because maybe you've been working on that. And then you have them write a story. Then you can have them change their story with another group who then corrects it. You can have them write in questions about the story to ask the other people. You can have them also get into pairs and share the story one-on-one. You can do a million different things with it. And this can be, you could turn it into a 2-hour lesson. You know, you can also do a little bit of mapping for the middle if you have kind of a low-level class, and ask them who are the characters in this story and where are some cities where they might get snow or places and some stuff like that. So you could walk in sub-storytelling activity, don't even know them, after you do the introductions, and then you do this, and you got a 2-hour lesson right out of your pocket.
And you can, for perhaps slightly lower level, or maybe just for a more fun group activity, do it as an oral storytelling, where you write the sentences on the board, and the class takes turns adding new sentences to the story until everyone's had a turn, and somehow you end up living happily ever after. Many ways this can be used, and a lot of fun for everybody. And I think we're getting need to move on here.
Okay, I just wanted to add, if any of you teach adult literacy, this is a great way to have them write this. You write the story out, and then they can read their own words. And in that case, you don't make any corrections. It's their words, that's how they speak, and that's how they told the story. And they can get a lot of joy out of reading something that they've written. If you have someone in your class to assist, you can go into 2 groups and have 2 stories. And again, the same goals as being able to create a story. We're going to give you a little more exercise.
And we have, sorry, we just had a little comment in the chat that you could write the sentences as a class, but break into groups and have them write a different story using the same beginning and ending.
Exactly, yeah. Right, so you can do that. You can do it over and over, actually. Yeah. You can change the groups up. Good suggestion. We're going to give you, actually, we're only going to give you 2 minutes. We did write 3, but since we don't have that much time left, this is something when you're on Zoom, like Karen was saying, you got to get the blood up into brain. So we're going to give you exactly 2 minutes to get up, go find something that is in your house that's purple, find something that starts with S, and find something useful from your kitchen. So we want you to bring back 3 objects in 2 minutes, and I will put on my timer. And then you got to run here and get your blood flowing. So put in, okay, here, can you see? I don't know if you can see it. Whoa, I put a whole hour by mistake. Okay, this is better. 2 minutes. All right, go. I have to find my stuff here. I see some people coming back. You guys are fast because we still have 49. A whole 49 more seconds. For those of you who are here, are you enjoying yourself? You having fun with us?
This is great.
Oh, thank you. You know, we believe that, you know, learning should be fun, and we think you remember things better when they're.
We're getting a lot of yeses in the chat too.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah. I think, you know, classes shouldn't be too serious, and you can learn better if you enjoy yourself, because then if you have an emotion with something, you remember. We also are trying to bring in the 3 styles of learning, which are kinesthetic, auditory, and visual. So we're trying to pull it all in. And it's 2 minutes. So let's look at something purple. If you have something purple, hold it up. Oh, wow. Oh, some cool things.
There's some very purple stuff here.
Yeah. Susan, what are you holding? Oh, a bow. Is that a bow?
Yeah. Okay.
And we have books, and I have a purple brush, and pens, and tops, and mugs.
And a coaster, and
coaster. Is that a doll, Patricia, that you got?
This is a baby dish.
A baby dish. Okay. What about S?
And a mug, and
what S things have you found? These are staples in a purple box, but no. Oh, spoon, sponge, scarf, spatula, shoes, scissors, and look at all the different sounds for S. You know, you can choose, and I can't see. It's hard to see what everything is. Let's see. Salt and
a snowflake.
Game, Skyjo game.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. And sandals, shoes and sandals and sneakers. I mean, so look what you could do with this game with an ESL class. How cool. And then, you know, you could be doing a whole lesson around kitchen items. So I have a fork, Karen has a spoon. Sandra, what are those called again?
Spatula.
A spatula, and the others. Oh, look at the two, and Susan has a like ice thing.
Saucepan.
Sandra Ost, what's that called? It's like
tongs.
Tongs. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they're tongs, aren't they?
Tongs.
Yeah. Pick up stuff with them.
So you know, you have measuring cups and graters, and what are you holding, Leo?
Waffle iron.
Oh
yeah.
Iron.
Okay.
And we have like a lemon juicer, and so you see, like, let's say you didn't, you know, you're on a Zoom call and you say, okay, today we're going to talk about items in the kitchen, and then you end up your lesson by writing a recipe, like how to make an omelet or something, and then you can even go further and make it into a speaking exercise where everybody has to give a recipe using 3 objects that people brought in. So out of nothing, you have not only have you got people up and running around, but you can make a whole lesson out of it. Just a little imagination. Karen, were you going to say something?
5 minutes.
Okay.
What I was going to say.
So this one's for you. I refuse to embarrass myself.
One quick thing you can do, I wouldn't have a whole lesson on tongue twisters, but it can break up a class. And again, help with pronunciation for ESL students. And so we have one we want you all to do with me.
And so you need to.
I'll do it once and then everyone do it. I am not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's mate. I am only plucking pheasants because the pheasant plucker's late.
Whoa, okay, unmute
everybody.
Yourself. Everybody
I am.
We're going to
I'm
be
not
real
the
noisy.
pheasant. Come on.
Yeah, unmute. Everybody's muted. Let them mute and make noise. Come on, have a little fun here. Okay, Karen, we're with you.
All right, everyone ready? Together. I am not the pheasant plucker.
I'm the pheasant plucker's mate. I am
only plucking pheasants because the plucker's late.
Plucker's late.
Did everyone say it
Let's do
right?
one more time faster. Okay.
All right.
If any funny words come out. Adele gets it.
I am not the pheasant plucker. I'm the
plucker. I am the plucker's mate. I'm the plucking pheasant because the pheasant plucker's late.
Pheasant plucker's late.
Late.
I think I heard a couple
Whoa.
of funny words. Yeah, you know, your students will love it, especially if they make a mistake and say the F word instead of PL, and they'll laugh for the whole rest of your lesson. And it really wakes people up. And like this is the final back pocket exercise we have for you today, is try a spelling bee to, at the end of your lesson, let's say you have like your lesson's too short and they got it. So during this made up lesson that you're doing, you can be writing down some of the hard words, that irregularly spelled words, and just have a fun spelling bee with them. You can do it a few different ways. You can be the giver of words. You can have them in teams. And okay, so if you're in person, have them line up. The first person at the top, the head of the team, runs to the board and writes the word, and then runs back and gives the marker to the next person. You could call them up individually and have them spell out the word, and then just have one winner. I always like to do teams because then no one ever feels bad. You could also put them into groups and have each group come up with a list of like 10 difficult words. You could ask them, or 5 irregularly spelled words, and then challenge the other teams. So anything you can do can be a great review of vocabulary from your lesson. Or if you want to start your lesson, you know, with a review of what you did the last time, you could also do a spelling bee at the very beginning of the lesson. And this can pick up on a review of difficult words or things like that. If you're on Zoom, you can have them writing on the whiteboard on the Zoom, or just spelling it out as well. So that brings us to the very end. And just a little review, we started with a way of getting to know people and getting to know what they like, and also remembering names. We gave you a few ideas on how to get people up and moving. And by the way, if you ever have somebody who's really sleepy in your class, tell them to work standing up. I have never had a student fall asleep standing up. It just doesn't happen. Have them, you can do a lot of things with writing stories or oral storytelling. You can do pronunciation exercises with stressed words, tongue twisters, and then end up with a really unusual, creative spelling bee. So that's what we have in our toolkit for you today. And we only have like 1 minute left, but I see some thumbs up, and that makes me feel very, very happy. If you want to put in the chat what ideas that you like, that would be great. And I am here for you. If you want to reach out to me, I love collaborating with people on figuring out fun ways to teach and unusual ways, and how to keep people engaged. I think we have time. Do we have time for any questions or comments, Heather?
Unfortunately, we do not, but I do want to say thank you so much to Karen and Joanne. Thank you for the back pocket activities. You gave everyone so many wonderful ideas. And